Welcome back to We Are live from Midcoast Studio, Grand Center, St. Louis, Missouri. Big thanks to all of you for tuning in and hitting that share button. Big thanks to Tech Electronics, local business that made this studio possible. We got the streaming cameras, amazing mics, all this great equipment. That board is fantastic as well. If you have a business or you're an individual looking for tech needs, check out Tech Electronics right here in the city of St. Louis, just down the street from Hillside Animal Hospital. Hit it, Gardner.
Oh.
We're hitting it.
Dr. Ed.
Dr. Ed.
The good doctor is in.
Dr. Ed joins
Hi, Dr. Ed.
from Hillside Animal Hospital each and every week.
I'm in New York, Dr. Ed. I'm not in the studio.
Oh, I kind of figured, I didn't see you here.
That's very true. Travis is in New York, and we're joined with Tommy and Gardner in studio. Dr. Ed, we have a unique animal story that hit literally close to home yesterday. And I don't know if, I know you've probably worked on a lot of dogs named Bear, but I don't know if you want to tackle this problem. Gardner, this is your department. It has to do with Eureka, Catholicism, and
Ursophobia. And probably the bear apocalypse.
Okay.
Geniuses are laughed at times. See, I'm channeling my inner Travis.
Oh, boy. Here we
like
go.
this. Talk
Travis, I learned this from you. I don't know why you're rolling your eyes.
I don't like this at all.
Geniuses get laughed at times. Sometimes people might get laughed at for tweeting at the governor of the state to declare a state of emergency because of bear intrusions, bear invasions in the St. Louis area. It started happening at a pretty regular pace last year. Maybe even building a wall around St. Louis City, a barricade, if you will, to protect the residents.
Did you hurt yourself on that one?
See, people get mocked for things like that. And then, stories pop up. Like you said, in Eureka, Missouri. Why don't we let Mike Bush of KSDK tell us a little bit more?
A young bear is back in the wild after a brief but high-profile run through Eureka this afternoon. You can see a local business caught video of the bear running through their property, confused and switching directions. Soon police were hot on its tail. They followed it here, Most Sacred Heart Church and School. Some teachers propped open a door so they could move big items out of the school. Workers caught video of the bear before it ran into a bathroom where they trapped it. Luckily, nobody was hurt, but the bear did some damage and certainly got a lot of attention.
It cut not only through the drywall, but into the metal studs. You can see it bent the metal studs. It was awesome. I have barely had time to even see the texts and stuff. A few pop up and catch my eye. One was, how dare you guys let a Boston Bruin in your school building?
Oh, damn it. Cam Jansen texting a
The
priest.
bear was released back into the wild, away from any populated area.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's make fun of the fact that bears are just walking into schools where your kids are, folks.
Yeah, but you missed what he said. He bent the metal beams. It was awesome.
Yeah.
He said that. So it's
They are awesome animals.
Why can't bears worship, Gardner?
Yeah, he was there to participate in confession.
You think Satan's minions are there to worship?
Oh, wow.
You think
Maybe-
the Ursa are there to worship? The Ursa are here to team with aliens to take us over, Travis.
Maybe he's trying to get things right before the bear apocalypse.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, atoning for his sins before he
Yeah.
attacks.
So
Yeah.
that's a good call.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
What is wrong with that? But what is wrong with that? What if the aliens and bears are teaming up and saying, look, humans, you've had a good run. You clearly haven't taken care of the planet. It's our turn to save the world.
Travis, it's hard for me to
What's
argue
wrong with
against
that?
that.
Could Charlie use her time machine and fix all this?
Ooh.
And what do we say about exclusive property of Sesame Street? What do we say
I
about
thought it was
that?
Adam Bertle's
What do
property.
we say about that? No, what do we say about that?
I don't know.
You apologize. See, that's
Detective
why
Charlie.
I'm going to start suing. Midcoast Media going to start getting invoices.
I did see that bear apparently ended up in the boys' restroom, and
Okay.
one of the quotes said that it did some damage in the boys' restroom, and I was like, oh, I wonder what that means.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What does that mean? Wait, hold on.
Do bears do it in the woods or in the bathroom?
That's what we were. I
Boy.
guess we could have an answer to that very
I
soon.
don't know if we want to dive into that, but I mean,
Wait.
it answers the.
I mean, was it a cub?
It looked like a smaller bear.
Yeah, it was about 18 months old, 90-pound bear.
Yeah,
All right.
they're still apex predators.
I agree.
How'd
Dr.
how'd
Ed, you're a
how'd trap it?
professional.
How'd they trap it?
They tranked it eventually.
You know,
Yeah.
who did? The conservation
Yep,
department?
Yep.
Conservation Department did. And then I believe they released it in Jefferson County, which
better
could
have.
mean, whatever. I could have used a new rug here, personally.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Excuse me? That's rude. That's unnecessary.
no, they're bears.
Hey,
You have to.
yeah.
they're fine.
No, they're not fine,
It's a black-
Tommy.
it's a
That's the
black
problem
bear.
here
It's
is
a
that we
black bear,
treat it
Travis,
as
yeah.
jokes and such. They are apex predators. That's
How
what
often does
they're-
a story like this happen, though? In
More-
our area.
Thank you.
more often
much.
than it has before? It's getting. I mean, their
Yeah.
migration is coming
Because
this
the
way.
media is anti-bear. Well,
Is
what
it-
do you expect from the
They
anti-bear
should be.
media?
Is it their migration or our migration?
It's
Thank
their
you.
migration.
Thank you, Tommy.
Flooding
Thank
could
you.
have something to
We've-
do with
That-
this
that
displaced
too,
bear.
man.
Right. Yeah, but we've had people on from the Missouri Department of Conversation on the radio side. We've had 2 guests on discussing this.
Can we
before.
add that to Travis's?
Yeah. You
Uh,
said the Missouri Department of Conversation.
Oh, did I say that?
You did.
Hey, why is it getting added to my list?
Because I'm sure you can't say it.
Dr. Ed,
Write that down, Tommy, so
Yeah.
I don't forget, please. Thank you.
you are a veterinarian and a professional of sorts in the last several years in the Missouri, St. Louis area. Any bear-related treatments on pets that you've ever taken care of? Any expertise that you've had to lend for bear issues? How do we tap into all this bear knowledge? I feel like you're hiding from us.
No, I got nothing to say. About
Nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
How do
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ed.
I can barely speak on the subject.
Barely.
Oh, no.
You did that on
Stop
purpose.
it.
Oh,
Stop it.
God. Son of a Dr. Ed, for the love of Christ, man.
You guys just serve them up on a platter. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So do we care that this bear was raiding a Catholic school in Eureka?
No, and I resent the fact that Gardner keeps referring to them as apex predators. If bears are apex predators, then what are humans?
Humans,
The ultimate prey.
yeah,
Now we're predators.
we're predators.
Thank you. Very disgusting predators
You
at
kn-
that. So I think if we're going to start locking people up, let's start with the human race first.
Hey,
I thought you were against that.
yeah, I thought you were.
I mean, we
against, that's
do
what
that.
you. That's why you have trouble with Kamala Harris. So then, what's your issue there then?
I said justly. Justly. Lock them up justly.
Hey,
There's a justice system.
Hey,
We should honor that.
I don't disagree with David Bowie's lyric. Homo sapiens have outgrown their use. I don't disagree there.
Thank you.
So I can't. I'm not
Thank
going to
you.
argue that point with you, Travis.
Huh. Okay.
So maybe the Bears are just taking back what's theirs. We sit up here, we voted for a man that said he wanted to take back the country. Maybe Bears made a vote themselves and said, we taking back what's ours then. You didn't think about that, did you?
No, I didn't.
He's got a point, people. As far as Dr. Ed goes, I know you're going to be seeing some Bears live and up close, Game 3 and 4 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's give Dr. Ed a round of applause. He secured tickets to Games 3 and 4, everybody. We're excited for you.
Yeah, I don't have them in hand yet, but it's, I guess if once I get them, I'll be really excited.
Be ready to rock. Yeah.
Yeah,
Years
yeah.
in the making. Think they're going to come back?
Yeah, I think they'll have a better game than they did in Game 1. They started out gangbusters, but they just let Boston get back into it.
It's a very good team they're playing against. Travis, would you like Dr. Ed to take you to watch the Stanley Cup Finals?
Dr. Ed, you're inviting me to the Stanley Cup Finals?
I don't think those words came out of my mouth.
Oh, I must have.
Oh.
I'm mistaken. I'm
Let's
sorry.
rewind the tape and find out.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
Trav.
okay.
Yeah,
can I
Because I
go?
would love to. I mean,
I got lots of friends all of a sudden.
we don't even. Tommy don't even know. Do you even know 2 hockey players, Tommy?
Tarasenko
Ooh.
Oh, you said it right.
and
Okay.
and that other guy from
Come on.
St. Louis,
Yeah.
Vladimir.
Come on.
Vladimir.
Think a guy named Vladimir's from St. Louis?
No.
Okay.
And then hold on, give me a second.
You can't look it up, Tommy.
I'm not looking it up.
Jesus
I'm not looking it
Christ.
up.
Oh,
Well,
my
Tommy's
God.
While Tommy's researching, I'll tell you about Pet
And,
One St. Louis West.
Jordan Bennington.
Oh, Jordan Bennington. There you go. There he goes. Pet One St. Louis West, fresh pet food delivered, great ingredients, great products. Check them out online, PetOnceSt.LouisWest.com. Give a shout out to Lynette and Nick, owners of Pet Once St. Louis West. Travis, we got
Dr. Ed, as before we get into dogs on film, I just want to get Dr. Ed's opinion because he actually, unlike you other Scrooges, grew up in St. Louis. So I'm curious to actually get his thoughts on St. Louis identity. I made the point early in the show that St. Louis is in fact just a baseball town, and I would imagine you probably had some blowback or you may dispute that point.
Oh, yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think we're a lot more than just a baseball town. I think St. Louis is known, for well, obviously for the Blues, but also for the soccer heritage in St. Louis is just incredible, especially coming from the Hill. The game of their lives, the 1950 World Cup team with what seven St. Louisans on the roster.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Travis,
Crazy.
you want to shoot down Dr. Ed?
No, he's a respected man of the community, and I respect his opinion more than anyone else in the studio right now. So
Hey,
Dr. Ed can speak to it.
you lose.
That's not how it works, Tommy.
Yeah.
It is how it works. You guys
That's not
spent
how it works
20
at all.
That's not how it works, Tommy.
It's not how
we
it
have-
works at all, Tommy.
Oh.
We had
All right.
one other animal story to get to before we go to Dogs on Film, which is narrated by the great Sean, who's friends with Tommy. Gardner, do we have a photo of a lost cat that I wanted to see if Dr. Ed could help us out with?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, Dr. Ed, if you could identify this. Travis, you may have you may have seen this somewhere, but this was posted to Craigslist, and
I don't think that's a cat.
someone found a lost cat. And
That short tail.
it's a found cat. If you're looking, it looks to be in between 30 and 35 pounds. Kind of a beefy head, eyes as big as quarters, and it's ready. Would you describe that cat as ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to eat you, or
So this was a Craigslist post, and
St. Louis?
no, Richmond, Virginia, and
Oh boy.
they
free to a good home.
Yep. Apparently, they found a cat. They thought it was a Bengal Maine Coon mix, and they said he's big and chubby, looks well taken care of, and he's scratched me a few times. Could someone please get their pet?
Oh boy.
You
Oh, boy.
need to go get a tetanus shot or whatever.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And then I believe there was an update where he posted that, and then people were informing him, yeah, fella, you got a bobcat.
He's crazy and has gotten into everything in the house in one night and is extremely aggressive. Even though I'm almost sure this is someone's pet, unfortunately, if no one contacts me soon enough, I'll have to take him by a shelter by Sunday night, most likely. I'll have to take him in. Almost lost my finger this morning trying to pet him. That's been growling and hissing and calling all morning. He's just a big grouch. Please text or email. Huh, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's litter box trained.
Yeah,
Looks like it.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
and
oh,
those cats are known for just marking up everything.
yeah.
Oh, that's all they do.
You guys ruined his house.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Was there any more updates?
I think that we're just gonna let him go.
Imagine if he would have actually tried to transport that bobcat to a shelter, like just being in the car with that thing.
Oh, I mean,
try-
just the aggression
Trying to
taking
get
it
did
through
he-
the air.
Trying to get it into a carrier.
Yeah. How did he get it in?
Yeah.
Like, how did he?
I don't.
You just open the door and let
Yeah,
it in.
probably open the
Yes,
door.
yeah. I mean, Travis,
That.
what do you think? Who you blaming this on?
Well, Chris, we don't get wild animals up here in New York City. You see, we're an urban area, so that type of thing doesn't happen here. So I don't know how you hillbillies would handle such a situation like that.
Just rats, I guess.
He's got some rats.
Oh,
not
the
as big as
rats
that
are-
bobcat.
Is that
That's a
why-
good point. That is
why-
very true.
Is that why you moved up there to get away from the bears? And
I've actually closer. We were talking about a video of one of the bears being in New Jersey recently,
60 miles away.
and I just don't understand the fear of bears. They open sodas, they slide down the hills when it's snowing.
That's a cartoon.
They
You're thinking
eat
of cartoons,
honey.
Travis.
But still, like a bear ain't never harassed me. A bear has never, pulled me over and say that my tail light was out. A bear has, never called me a racial slur. So I don't understand why people are so antagonistic to bears, considering they are friends. They're kind, and the literature wouldn't make them out to be the heroes that they were if they weren't.
It's your
Yeah,
liberal media.
you've heard of Grizzly Man, right?
Oh,
Oh yeah, that was because he was
Mr.
a place where
Bear!
he shouldn't have been.
Mr. Bear, hello, Mr. Bear.
The
That
fox.
guy.
See, Dr. Ed, that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of Tommy going to North City at 1 a.m.
Hey,
Like
fuck
he
you.
had no business being there. So,
Take it easy.
Tommy, you couldn't handle 20 minutes in North City, St. Louis. So relax.
I
But
bet
that's
I
the
could.
equivalent. That's what happened to Grizzly Man.
Maybe drops
Okay,
your name.
let's
Maybe
make
drops
that
your
a
name, he'll be all right.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I will say,
Yeah.
We
Tommy,
won't.
researcher Tommy does have the article pulled up that it says it's totally fake, and yeah, that's yeah, I don't care.
So the
that's
actual
a good, that's a
story-
good gag.
The actual story came from an Instagram post of a rescued bobcat. That's where all the pictures came from. And so they just kind of took those and put it into the gag. It's
I'm a
still
fan
funny.
of
So they
their work.
lied.
It is very funny.
Typical.
I hated to be that guy. I was hoping you didn't
Oh
bring it
no
up.
no, that's great. Yeah, you would have to think that. Would
It
be
wasn't
something.
great. It's a story about lying about animals, and I am offended.
Yeah, be quiet.
Of course you are. You're a New Yorker now. You got to be outraged about something, right? That's your brand. What am
I'm
I
not
pissed off about
outraged.
today?
I'm just woke.
Oh yeah.
That's all I am. I'm woke.
Both four-letter words.
Don't forget that. Guys, we do Dogs on Film each and every week. Gardner puts done a lot of production work into it with our highly paid voiceover man, Sean. Let's do some Dogs on Film, everybody.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh God.
Now we will.
Gardner, what happens on Dogs on Film besides me dominating on a weekly basis?
That's back-to-back weeks for you right now, isn't it?
And I'm a humble guy.
I can tell. We
I,
learned that in the first hour.
I don't rub that in too much. I've been called a hillbilly today, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
We all
take
have.
kindly to that.
We all have.
That's true.
It
yeah.
just where those words come from, there has to be credibility sometimes, and that's why it doesn't hurt as much today. So Dogs on Film. I've said before, the title, Dogs on Film, would indicate dogs on film, but we ran out of dog movies, so we come up with different themes. For movies, 6 total movies, 3 pairings, 3 sets. We put one movie versus another. You guys have to guess which one has a better score on Rotten Tomatoes. If you do, you get a point. You can max out at 3 points. At the end of those 3 pairings, we see who has the most points. If there's a tie, then we have a tiebreaker in which you guys will guess closest to the actual score on Rotten Tomatoes. Sometimes we don't need it. Sometimes someone just wins out. But we always play the tiebreaker just to see what might have been. What might have been. So that's how all that works. So we'll get to the themes here. As Chris said, Sean, my friend Sean, narrates these, and we did so on Monday in our local watering hole. We just sat inside. It was a light crowd that day. So we just sat in the corner and recorded.
Not physical weight.
Hey, can you turn down Match Game on the television? We're trying to record over here. Calm down here. I don't need Richard Dawson yelling right now, okay? So we sat in there and recorded. I would like to say this, too, real quick, before we continue. Stay tuned, folks. For the end of the show, we are going to celebrate a special anniversary
Teaser.
at the end of the show. So while I have your attention, I wanted to mention that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Okay,
Maybe,
now,
maybe next week we can do Bears on film.
actually, we've done some bear movies before.
have we?
Let me look back and see what we've done and see what else I have. But that's an idea.
You mentioned Grizzly Man, like that. Hearing Werner Herzog say, like, I could not show the footage that was found.
And then
was the most harrowing thing I've ever seen.
saying,
in my
just
life.
telling,
And
it
just
to
telling what happened.
destroy it.
There's video of 2 people being eaten alive by a bear.
I don't want to
How do you
stop.
Is it on
Horrific.
YouTube?
Have you seen the documentary?
No,
Travis?
there's fake ones on YouTube, fake audio at least.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Travis, have you seen the documentary?
I have not seen the
You
documentary.
haven't? It's. I'd say go back and watch it. It is incredible, and it's not necessarily a nature documentary. It's more a psychological delve into a crazy person.
Stop doing this.
Yeah, it's so yeah.
So throughout this game, I'll let you guys know if maybe a couple of you have a right answer.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
You'll hear that. Or maybe a wrong answer. You'll hear that. And so that's how we're going to do it. Our themes today.
Okay.
Your first theme. We're going to continue with New York movies. In your first theme. New York movies. They have a New York setting is kind of how this is going to be. We've done this for a number of weeks now with Travis in New York, so let's continue with this.
Yeah.
What here is your first movie?
First up, we have Saturday Night Fever, 1977. Drama, romance, 2 hours. Tony Manero, John Travolta, doesn't have much going for him during the weekdays. He still lives at home and works as a paint clerk in his Brooklyn, New York neighborhood, but he lives for weekends, when he and his friends go to the local disco and dance the night away. When a big dance competition is announced, he wrangles his beautiful and talented Stephanie, Karen Lynn Gorney, to be his partner. As the two train for the big night, they start to fall for each other as well.
You a big disco guy?
No, I'm not, but I like disco. Yeah, I've been to discotheques. I had a girlfriend, Inga Benson, who was a dancer, and she used to drag me to these discotheques where sometimes I couldn't get in, but she always did, because she was young and beautiful.
You a good dancer?
I used to be, 100 pounds ago.
All right, there's your first one. Saturday Night Fever.
Did you like that movie, Dr. Ed?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never understood it. Just not my time. Trav, you a big Saturday Night Fever guy?
It was cool.
Doesn't want to go against the great Dr. Ed.
Here's the second one.
Squid and the Whale, 2005 drama comedy, 1 hour, 28 minutes. A pair of brothers living in Brooklyn are caught in the middle of and deeply affected by the divorce of their erudite parents, Bernard, Jeff Daniels, and Joan Berkman, Laura Linney. Older sibling Walt, Jesse S. Eisenberg, sides with Dad and acts out at school, while younger brother Frank, Owen Klein, quietly backs up Mom. Household tensions rises further when Joan's writing career takes off and surpasses the failed ambitions of her professor ex-husband.
You like that Jeff Daniels?
He's okay, yeah. He's on Broadway now.
You ever been to Broadway?
Yes, I've been to several Broadway shows. You know, I am from New York City, for crying out loud.
Do you have sing us a Broadway song?
Okay. Dulcinea, Dulcinea, da-da-dee-da-da-da-dee-da, Dulcinea, da-da-dee-da-da-da-dee-da. That's from my man of La Mancha. I am Sancho.
There you go.
Why does he know that Jeff Daniels is doing a play on Broadway right now? He
I don't
keeps
know.
up with that?
I don't know.
He,
He's doing what? To Kill a Mockingbird.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I edited that part out. He was going on and on about Atticus Finch, and we had to get.
Things.
Yeah, we had to
Highest grossing show on Broadway this year, by the way.
We should go to that one.
Hell, it's been sold out, and actually Broadway is booming. It's like the Broadway shows over the last year have it's been an all-time high in the box office.
All right, so we
Because I'm in New York, I know these things.
All right, The Squid and the Whale versus Saturday Night Fever.
I'm going Saturday Night Fever.
I gotta go with that just by default. I don't think I've never seen the other one.
Squid and the Whale because it's just so off the beaten path.
Did I help with this?
I don't think you did.
Squid and the Whale.
Those of you that picked Squid and the Whale
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
are correct.
I'm sorry.
Squid and the Whale, 93.
What?
Saturday Night Fever, 85.
That's a really good rating. I didn't know if it was one of those that was kind of pumped up for the time or whatever. So that was a really good movie then, huh?
I've never seen it.
What, Squid and the Whale? No, I've never seen that. Yeah, that's interesting. Are you surprised? Have you seen Squid and the Whale, Gardner?
I've only
You're the
seen
worst
part
person
of
to
it.
ask, yeah.
And it's not a long movie, I don't think. And I'm trying to remember when it came out. I remember it being critically acclaimed when it came out, though. So we have, after one round, Chris and Tommy with 1, Dr. Ed and Travis 0. Your second pairing of movies are like comedic gangster movies. You ready? Here's your
Okay.
first one.
Next, we have My Blue Heaven, 1990, crime comedy, 1 hour, 37 minutes. Vince Anantoli, Steve Martin, Vinny Antonelli, Steve Martin, trades the mob for the witness protection program and moves to a small suburb in California. But for Vinny, old ways die hard. He becomes a challenge for Barney Coppersmith, Rick Moranis.
Coopersmith.
Comes a challenge for Barney Coopersmith, Rick Moranis, the FBI agent in charge of making sure Vinny keeps a low profile before he can testify against the former mob associates. Barney, though, might actually be able to learn some things from Vinny. That is, if Barney can keep him alive long enough.
Heard a rumor that you used to eat ladybugs?
Yes, I ate ladybugs.
Why?
I was always on the outfield, and the ladybugs would just land on me for some reason. And the black guys are all like, and I'd go, hey, ladybug. They eat them, and they're like, ah, damn, fucking crazy. Who call you lizard? Lizard! They call me lizard, because I ain't bug.
Jesus.
Yeah, My Blue Heaven is your first one.
You're just gonna skip over the ladybug thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the least harmful thing he's ingested in the last 30 years.
It's normal. Going against?
The Whole 9 Yards, 2000, crime adventure, 1 hour, 41 minutes. Jimmy, the Tulip Tedeschi, Bruce Willis, a mob hitman turned informant, ratted on the mob and put his life in jeopardy. Now he has moved to suburban Montreal, ostensibly to make a new start.
Good job on ostensibly.
Thank you. His next door neighbor is a mild-mannered, unhappily married dentist, Nick Ozarence, Matthew Perry. Nick recognizes Jimmy from the newspaper stories about his mob testimony, and that's when Nick's simple, boring world turns upside down.
You know who Matthew Perry's stepfather is?
No.
Are you familiar with Keith Morrison from Dateline?
Oh, the guy who talks like this. How about that? It's a stepfather?
Yeah.
How about that? Well, no wonder.
Can you talk like Keith Morrison?
Keith Morrison.
Short-term memory loss.
Yes,
Oh,
very
boy.
much so.
Oh, boy.
I think I just stared at him after that. All right, so we have The Whole 9 Yards versus My Blue Heaven.
I'll go with The Whole 9 Yards.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that too. I enjoyed that movie. I like Matthew Perry.
My Blue Heaven because I like Rick Moranis.
Okay. Travis?
I'm going My Blue Heaven as well.
My Blue Heaveners.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
My Blue Heaven takes it 71 for My Blue Heaven, 45 for The Whole 9 Yards.
No,
45 for The Whole 9 Yards.
that's a problem.
So Tommy has 2.
Yes.
Chris has 1. Travis has 1. Dr. Ed
Hanging it up.
is giving it a good effort. All right, our next pairing of movies with the Blues playing the Bruins. They're playing in Boston.
Uh-oh.
We have movies set in Boston. Set in Boston.
This sounds intriguing.
Boston Market, the movie.
Is that a movie?
No.
It should be.
Wait, was that your Mark Wahlberg?
I got your Mark Wahlberg right
Oh,
here,
that
kid.
was a terrible Mark Wahlberg.
It's not. I can cut your mic, though, if you want to talk about it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Tommy's sorry he couldn't make it, by the way.
Oh, say hi to Tommy for me, will you?
Yeah.
What a good kid. Next, we have Black Mass, 2015. Drama crime, 2 hours, 3 minutes. While his brother Bill, Benedict Cumberbatch, remains a powerful leader in the Massachusetts Senate, Irish hoodlum James Whitey Bulger, Johnny Depp, continues to pursue his life of crime in 1970s Boston. Approached by FBI agent John Connolly, Joel Edgerton, the lawman convinced Whitey to help the agency fight the Italian mob. As their unholy alliance spirals out of control, Bulger increases his power and evades capture to become one of the most dangerous gangsters in U.S. history. You know, I was fascinated with the Whitey Bulger fucking whole thing.
Why?
Because, you know, I like a good Irish fucking, you know, gangster. As brutal as he might have been.
He's a terrible person.
Absolutely, but they got him.
Terrible human being.
All right. Black Mass is your first Boston movie. Going against.
And next we have The Equalizer, 2014, thriller action, 2 hours, 12 minutes. Robert McCall, Denzel Washington, a man of mysterious origins who believes he has put the past behind him, dedicates himself to creating a quiet new life in Boston. However, he meets Terry, Chloe Grace Moretz, a teenager who has been manhandled by violent Russian mobsters. He simply cannot walk away. With his set of formidable skills, Bacall comes out of self-imposed retirement and emerges as an avenging angel, ready to take down anyone who brutalizes the helpless. I did see that. He's a badass motherfucker in that one. Mm-hmm.
Oh, why?
Mm-hmm. You have the Equalizer versus Black Mass.
That's hard.
Who's in the lead right now? Tommy?
Yeah.
You go first.
You have 2 or 1?
2. I have to go with Equalizer because with the character, like with the actors, they're big in Black Mass, but I see Equalizer around more.
Okay.
So it's on TV more.
Okay.
I think
So you'd
Black
assume it to
Mass
be
was
better.
an unfortunate. It's probably fresh, but I think it didn't hit like they thought it was going to be The Departed, and it was not. I got to go with the Equalizer. Equalizer was great.
Dr. Ed?
I wanted to go with the Equalizer. I guess I'll stick with that.
Okay. Travis?
I will, well, shoot, I can't win. So I will go with the other film.
You can't win?
What's the other film?
Black Mass?
Yeah, let's go with Black Mass.
Now, if you get it right, you're one behind Tommy, or you tie Tommy, correct?
Oh, yeah. So I need Black Mass to hit, so I'm going with Black Mass.
Black Mass.
Yeah, dog. Yeah,
Oh,
dog.
fuck.
Wow!
No cursing when Dr.
I was
Ed's
gonna
on.
say, Tommy, let's calm it down. Intern's about to go back to notes on the couch.
Gotta
What
be
do we got
careful.
here?
Was that a black bear in a Catholic school? Maybe it was there for the black man.
Black Matt, write that down, please. Please don't steal that from Dr. Ed. That was a good joke.
The Equalizer, a 60. Black Mass, a 73.
Do we feel that's it? Did you? I thought Equalizer was awesome.
I've
Right?
never seen it. I've never seen
Oh, you
either
haven't
of
seen
them.
it? I imagine it to be.
It was awesome. It's Rotten Tomatoes racist as hell. I'm telling you. Black director, black actor. Gotta always think like the white man.
Okay. Yeah. What's Black Panther rated on there?
97.
Okay. Yeah, where are those eyes going? Where are those eyes going there, Chuck?
Yeah, that's because Black Panther is every movie critic's black best friend.
Yeah. you got to have a crutch, right?
I gave Black Panther. I gave Black Panther a high score.
Yeah.
And so then that allows critics to go and continue to be racist elsewhere.
That same person also gave Green Book a 100. So.
Exactly.
All right, we got a tie.
Oh, it looks like we got a tiebreaker.
Tommy and Travis. No cursing when Dr. Ed
Yeah,
is
I
on,
got it.
Tommy,
I'm sorry. I apologize.
What's this got to do with me?
And your dad is watching.
because you're respected.
Is my
And
dad
we
really
respect
watching?
you.
Is he really watching? Is he in the feed?
Travis doesn't
He
know
is. He's
anything
in the
about
notes.
who watches anything or anything. You can
Is
tell.
he watching?
I haven't seen it. No.
I am. I'm in the feed right now. I'm watching him
Who's
comment on the
feeding?
feed right now.
Who's feeding?
It's Facebook. It's a We Are Live feed. I'm watching it right now on my phone.
Okay.
Look at that face.
Okay. Yeah. Oh boy.
All right, our tiebreaker. Let's continue with that Boston theme. Why don't we?
Oh, nice.
And for the tiebreaker, we have Patriots Day 2016. Drama crime, 2 hours, 13 minutes. Tragedy strikes on April 15, 2013, when 2 bombs explode during the Boston Marathon. In the aftermath of the attack, Police Sergeant Tommy Saunders, Mark Wahlberg, FBI Special Agent Richard Deslares, Kevin Bacon, and Commissioner Ed Davis, John Goodman, joined courageous survivors, first responders, and investigators in a race against the clock to hunt down the suspects and bring them to justice.
You like that Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, he's fine. I like Kevin Bacon. I like John Goodman. I like them all. I'd like to see that. Well, I think it's time. I got to go to the bathroom. Okay? Are we done? All right, thanks. Thanks.
Tommy, you need to get your boy under control again. We're losing Sean.
Patriots Day. Travis, you go first. Closest to the actual score.
It was actually a pretty good film. I am going to go 85.
74.
85 for Travis. 74 for Tommy. And let's let you guys guess as well.
I'm going to go 54.
Dr. Ed.
70.
70 for Dr. Ed. Travis and Tommy are closest.
Uh-oh.
It's an 80. Travis wins by 1. He went with
What a
85.
callback.
74.
I almost went with 86, which still wouldn't have helped.
You should have went the $1 way and gone 84.
Is it just
If you
me?
wanted to
Is
go
it just
under.
me, or when Travis leans back, he looks kind of holy with that? You know?
With the light?
The aura behind him. Yeah.
Here I am, Lord.
Look, coming out of the light.
I, Lord. Oh, no. No,
It's
it's
me.
not you. Nope.
Congratulations to Travis on the big win. I'm sure he'll keep this on his mantle in the bodega in which he films in every morning here on We Are Live. No? Not a thing?
Man, don't be disrespectful to my New York streets.
Got to watch out for that. Dr. Ed, summer, it's heating up. Keep your pets cool. Got to keep an eye on ticks, heartworms, all that good stuff. Anything that we need to toss out to the people so they can stay aware?
Yeah, I was in the Schnucks parking lot the other day, and I heard a dog barking in the car, and I mean, I was walking around trying to find that dog right when the owner walked up, and wow.
It was bad?
Well, no, it wasn't. She said she was literally only gone for 5 minutes, and I'm like, that's long enough.
Yeah, and then she was like, well, what do you know about that? And then you whipped out your credentials, and she's like, all right, sorry.
No, that's just a gentle reminder. It happens every year, unfortunately to kids too, but.
Right. Oh, my gosh, yeah. So, yeah, keep an eye out for your pets, and if you have any needs for your pets, be sure to go to Hillside Animal Hospital. Dr. Ed, congrats on the tickets. We're going to have a lot to talk about after you go to those games.
Yeah, lifelong dream. Like I said, I've been a fan. I've been, St. Louis, and I've been a fan since '67, the first year. So this is only going to be the second Stanley Cup playoff game I've ever gone to.
Unbelievable. Travis, can you at least be happy for the St. Louis and going to a Stanley Cup final?
Nah.
We'll take a break and let the good doctor be on his way. Dr. Ed, again, is the owner and proprietor of Hillside Animal Hospital. And be sure to support Gateway Pet Guardians, at which he does as well. Dr. Ed, thank you as always, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Always a pleasure. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
We are live, live, live. We are live, live, live. We are live, live, live. We are live.
Welcome back to We Are live from St. Louis, Missouri. Big thanks to Dr. Ed from Hillside Animal Hospital. Big shout out to our friends at Tani Sushi Bistro. I don't know how many people were paying attention. A few months back, we mentioned we were working on a project with them. Our company here, Midcoast Media, helped them produce a new video podcast series hosted by Matt Whitener and Eric Heckman, who owns Tani. It's a digital dining experience, talking to super successful, super interesting people. First guests on the new podcast, Travis, Orlando Pace. Ever heard of him? Don Sorensen.
Has Tommy ever heard of him?
Oh, fair question.
I have. He's a baseball player.
Hall of Fame football player.
Damn it, Tommy.
Eric's a friend, and he just
Rest my case.
he just did a spot on Fox 2 this morning, and we were very happy to work with them. This is a really cool project. You know, we love Matt Whitener, as he's one of our dudes here on the show. So Matt, Eric, everybody at Tani, Orlando, Don, Doug Pitt, who happens to be, he happens to have a fairly famous brother, is one of the first guests as well.
Otis Pitt.
Otis
His
Pitt.
brother Otis Pitt is the one who owns a chain of barbecue pits around the country.
That's fair.
Very popular guy.
Wait,
I thought it was Brad
chain of
Pitt.
barbecue
Otis
pits?
Pitt.
It is Brad Pitt's brother, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, and if you see it, it's
Oh,
kind of freaky how much he looks like him, right?
A little bit.
It's in person, it's much more apparent. So yeah, check that out. Big shout out to Tani and Brandon Sloan for filming, and us at Midcoast for helping out with that. So excited about that.
Tommy just said it with confidence. He learned that from Travis, just so you know, Travis.
See what you're doing? You're an
He's a
influencer.
baseball player. He said it just like that. He learned that from you. You might be wrong.
You're welcome.
But just say it with confidence, and someone will think you're right.
I thought he played for the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Well, really? See, that's an interesting wrinkle. I did not expect you to say that.
Why?
I don't know why.
Trav, you pouring a little of the sacrament? What are we sipping on?
I'm sipping on the H2O, baby.
Further back? What about closer to you?
It's nothing else I'm drinking on. Why I gotta be drinking every morning, man? Why
tell
are you
me.
getting
Yeah,
mad?
that's
You're
what we're
not
asking.
the only person. I mean, some days you kind of want to have a glass of wine. Other days you got coffee or water. It's about living your life, man.
Wise words.
You guys should see how great shape I'm in right now. Like, it is going
your
to be
shirt off.
infuriating when you guys see me.
Yeah, take
Huh?
off
Take
your
your
shirt.
shirt. Oh, this is happening. Oh, he's got a bra on. Come on.
Is that a sports bra?
Uh-huh. For his pleasure.
Hey,
Stand up and show us your six pack.
Show us your
I don't like the
abdomen.
way you guys are treating my body.
Show us your abdomen.
Show us your abs.
No.
A rare moment of vulnerability from Travis Terrell. Good for
He's
him.
even clutching.
Can I? My belt loops though are
Oh.
off the chain.
Good for you.
I'm having
Like,
to
you guys
add
should see the
loops.
belt loops. I'm
Very
not adding
happy
any
about
belt
that.
loops. I look good.
Okay. You look good enough that Tommy Bannister of Circa Properties would help
Look
you
at
with
that.
a new...
Look at that.
Oh, there it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
While
Yeah,
Travis
on that.
flexes on us, Tommy Bannister will flex on the market for you for a new home. He'll take care of you. He's got a great team behind him. Tommy is a lifelong St. Louisan dedicating to helping out his clients. That's right. Buying or selling, you hit up Tommy Bannister, Circa Properties. Send me a DM if you need his info, or you can check him out on Facebook. That's Tommy Bannister at Circa Properties. Huge shout out to Tommy and the team at Circa. And then another quick shout out to our friends Tom Duff and Debbie at Mental Health Matters, the podcast by St. Louis Counseling Services. Gardner, you've done a bang-up job producing that. They're kicking ass, and we want everybody to know they're breaking down the stigma one client at a time. That's Mental Health Matters, the podcast, St. Louis Counseling Services, improving lives since 1955. We've got fair or foul to get to, and I will say there's a hell of a prize on the line, so let's make sure we got a bunch of great submissions. Fair or foul, Whitney Houston hologram concert tour. Email us, wall@weareliveradio.com. We'll get to those in just a moment or two. Gardner, you teased something earlier, and it seems like it's a humdinger, my friend.
Today is May 29th, 2019.
The year of our Lord.
1 year ago today. Do you guys remember what happened? Tommy,
Something involving Eric Crichton.
you nailed it, Tommy. It
There
was
you go, Thomas.
1 year ago today, my Post-it note that was placed in the Capitol building in Jefferson City saying, Greighton's you a hoe. Thank you, Travis.
Not a problem.
Got the point across,
He blessed you with that.
and Eric Greighton's resigned as Missouri governor. Resigned in disgrace. And it's time to commemorate that with our final This Day in Greighton's History, gentlemen. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Here's our...
Why?
Tommy!
I'm ready.
Why? Why is that? And you thought my Wahlberg was bad? Come on, man.
No.
Okay. Travis, yell This Day in Greighton's
My
History.
guy,
for me.
Steven texts me about you. He goes, that Tommy's, he's something, isn't he?
Yeah.
Steven is a very straightforward individual, and he loves the show, and he loves, he's on board with Travis's antics. For you to be the guy that Steven, a very even-keeled, entertainment-driven person, texts me and goes, that Tommy, huh?
You don't like me, Steven?
No, he likes you. It's a bless his heart kind of way. Sorry, go ahead, you guys.
Okay, here we go.
Oh,
It's time for This Day in Greighton's History.
Right through a hole.
Ooh.
Surprise, sadness, relief. All words used to describe the impromptu resignation of Missouri Governor Eric Greitens on May 29, 2018. This, on the heels of multiple alleged scandals involving the state's chief political executive. One regarding an extramarital affair, another his charity, and the darkest of campaign money. Now, his reputation tumbling down the Capitol steps. he previously threatened to throw lobbyists. How did Greitens end up here? Well, his troubles began in January of last year and never stopped.
News 4 has obtained a recording of a woman allegedly confessing to her then-husband in great detail about a sexual encounter she had with Governor Greitens.
Governor Eric Greitens is charged with felony invasion of privacy after allegedly taking and transmitting a compromising photo of his former mistress.
Lies, 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 telling lies. New lies. They're lies. It was a lie. And they've continued to lie falsehoods. Falsehoods, falsehoods, falsehoods that have been pushed from the beginning, downright false. False. Falsely claim, outlandish, tabloid trash gossip. This is a political witch hunt. Let's call this what it is. A political witch hunt. Absurd political witch hunt.
The movie 50 Shades came out, 50 Shades of Grey. Could you have talked to him about whether or not something like what the content of that movie, whether you found that to be a turn on, whether you found that enticing or attractive?
I once kissed a Frenchman in Tucson.
Today, the prosecutor has dropped the false charges against me. Now, this is a great victory, and it has been a long time coming. This experience has been humbling, and I have emerged from it a changed man.
If I was into tongue-kissing men with glasses, I'd be tongue-kissing you right now.
Governor, why are you using taxpayer security guards to evade the press?
I so appreciate you making the time to come out.
I'm a hillbilly from West Butler County who talked to him in jeans and Carhartt. Al is a flamboyant and somewhat dramatic speaker, and frankly, it was very hard to communicate with him. Al Watkins doesn't speak hillbilly, and hillbillies have a hard time speaking to Al Watkins.
Mr. Fawn articulates as though he has marbles in his mouth.
Any of the grief that's been brought upon your client's children was initially instigated by actions by your client. So
I would disagree. The governor in his caused it in 2015.
Mr. Watkins.
Missouri's Republican Governor Eric Greitens says he will not resign despite calls from state GOP leadership for him to step down.
Today, I am announcing that I will resign as governor of Missouri effective Friday, June 1st at 5 p.m. May God continue to bless you and to bless the great state of Missouri.
It was the story of the year in Missouri politics, over. Just like that. Greitens. Fate sealed. Right? Stay tuned.
Ooh.
There it is.
That story completely encapsulates everything that is Missouri and St. Louis politics.
Doesn't help. Doesn't help. I'll tell you that much. Doesn't help.
It was the worst of times. But this is what people vote for. This is when people just stop caring. And I know it's very easy in this day and age to be completely apathetic, but politically we need to really be more engaging, or else there are going to continue to be more Greitens that spring up every 2 to 4 years. Too. Or more de Blasios, you get more Rahm Emanuels, you can go on. Mm-hmm. The list can go on. Like, it's really, and now even look at where we are as a state now under Governor Parsons. Missouri stands to become the only state in the country without an abortion clinic. It's gotten to the point where you're getting what you voted for, and people truly can be as apathetic as you want, but your lives are going to naturally change if you don't start paying attention. I think if Eric Greitens isn't in the back of your head as you get set for the next round of elections, then I don't know what else to say. You can care if you don't want to care, but it's going to come back and affect your life. And until people start realizing that, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Greitens-like political figure in the state of St. Louis, or excuse me, state of Missouri or in St. Louis sometime soon.
Let's not just pick on Missouri. The whole country got hoodwinked by this same character. This happens all the time. You see with that guy that you got so fired up about in Texas, the dude who is a veteran with the eye patch. He's playing this game. He's playing this game. Like, it's not just Missouri. It'll happen wherever. People in California get hoodwinked by a guy who's been in a bunch of movies. Like, it's everywhere. I mean, it's easy to focus on this because it's obviously what we're talking about. I just think he's a symptom of a national thing because, I mean, the guy was chummy with Barack Obama and then decided to play a character.
He was an opportunist. He was an opportunist. That's all he was.
You guys remember when Crenshaw went on SNL?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. All right.
I think that was funny, right?
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I thought it was lame.
So Pete Davidson made a joke about him
That's
not
right.
having an eye.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
And then he came on to apologize, and it was like real hokey. And Pete Davidson was like, all right.
Okay. Well, there it is.
That's a good
It
explanation.
was pretty lame.
I like
But
how
no,
you
I
guys.
think again. No, go ahead, Tommy.
No, mine's not important.
Fair
No,
enough.
I was just simply gonna just put a bow on the Greitens thing. But I love the way you finished that, Gardner, because as we've recently learned, he's entertaining the idea of perhaps re-entering politics, and currently he is back on duty with the Navy, which is an entire conversation within itself. But I really hope, though, going forward, and I think, yeah, we can certainly point to other states and other cities and what they have done. But for us as St. Louisans, people who talk so proudly about the area that we come from, you can't be apathetic. You can't be that person who's just going to go, oh, well, what can you do? And still try to operate a business or try to help the region in which you live in by being politically apathetic. So I hope more people are engaged this go around, seeing that you could end up with a guy like Greitens again running things that will directly affect your life.
I mean, people vote, and people voted, I mean,
I think
people voted in Missouri. It's just,
I think he'd get voted back in.
I think the city of St. Louis, no, he won't. Here's what happens. If he tries to run again, investigations come right away. They can't, they're not just going to.
I said vote. I think the people, I think the general population would vote for him.
Oh, maybe, but it will never get that far. Because they can't just let it go. They can't just drop what they were about to investigate.
Right.
There's a reason it was dropped, is because
he tapped out.
Yes, because the money that was involved, that dark money, those people did not want to be revealed. They did not want to be involved. They will be involved again if he tries to run. They will pick up that. They will have to look back at that investigation. You can't just let it go.
There it is. So. Want to do some fair or foul? Great work, Gardner. I see why you got here at 4:30.
I
That's
wanted
some
to
editing,
put
my
that
man.
together.
Yeah.
I realized I forgot a line in there I wanted to put.
What would it have been?
It was going to be right when the clip stopped. It was the story of the year in Missouri politics. A story years in the making. And I forgot a story years in the making. I wanted to put that in there.
Could have finished with until the day I die.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you guys made fun of me making a little voice, and then that whole video was Gardner talking really soft.
Who was he trying to? Who was he?
I couldn't put my finger on it, but I thought it was like Twilight Zone-y in nature.
No.
No, wrong. All right.
No.
Just curious.
He just talked to Sean about it.
What's the old expression? A lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth gets its pants on. So true.
What?
So true.
So true.
You know, as I
A
was
lie can make its
typing
way
out the
halfway
script for
across
that,
the world.
I was sitting here going, I got Keith Morrison's email address. I wonder if I just emailed this to him, if he could read it for me real quick, and that would be really awesome if I could surprise everyone with that.
I watched a thing with him over the weekend where he was covering a Canadian military murder on a base, and I've never seen more friendly interrogations in my entire life. My God. It was amazing.
Did you see who also is a huge fan of his as well, Gardner?
I saw Bill Hader got to meet him.
Yeah, there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bill Hader, huge fan.
Yeah,
he was apparently, I guess, who set that up for him? I think Seth Meyers set it up for him.
He mentioned on Seth Meyers that he got to meet him. It was someone on the Today Show.
Willie Geist actually
Willie
set it
Geist.
up.
What
Willie
was this
Geist
on?
set it up.
Huh?
What was this on? Is there somewhere you could watch it, or is it?
Was it on Seth Meyers or no?
Or is
You
it
can
just
see Bill Hader on Seth Meyers talking about getting to meet him, and they put a picture up there, whatever.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, because Bill Hader does the best impersonation of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then where's something? Oh, like another random Keith Morrison thing is that Seinfeld episode when Kramer goes to California, and then they think he's the serial killer or whatever. Like if you remember when the gang finds out that he's this guy. I think it's Jerry and George in California at the time. The newsman on television doing that report about the murder is Keith Morrison. So Keith Morrison.
It sure was.
Yeah.
How about that?
So he's got a few other, little appearances.
Pop culture
Yeah.
pop-ins. That's pretty great. Guys, we asked you about a Whitney Houston hologram tour. Travis, how do we get this segment going?
We hand it off to the greatest president of all time, Barack Hussein Obama.
I don't have Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay,
that
I'll
is
just
rude.
I'll
Don't
just
you
hit
do
this.
it.
I'll just hit this.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
People often ask me, what's fair or foul? Is it a segment? Is it a movement? Is it hope? I can't say for certain. Time will be a true test of its power. But I can say, Fair or Foul is now and forever for the people. Gather around the radio with your loved ones and hold on to your butts. It's now time for Fair.
We give it back to you, the people.
Or Foul.
Hey. You don't know that for sure.
What's that video? On video, what's that say, Tommy? That note that Travis just held up?
It said Tommy is a virgin, but it's not necessarily true. It's all right. What is your point with this?
I can't wait to get another text. Ooh,
I want you
Tommy.
to admit it. Admit it.
Why would you do that?
Yeah,
to
this is kind of
someone?
weird, Travis.
This is weird, Travis.
Does not fall
What?
into your line of
Yeah, this
liberality.
You're supposed to be woke, not a
hold
effing
on.
bully.
Hold on. I am an intern, and because of that,
He's an independent contractor. Sorry, buddy.
yeah, oh, shit. All right.
Travis, up top, New York to St. Louis.
Like to file a complaint with one of your contractors.
Please do. Take it up with the yellow bird.
What?
His boss is a feathery giant bird in New York.
Oh.
What?
I'm not a virgin.
What are you gonna do about it?
I'm not a virgin. I watched movies.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time you was with a woman?
Oh
I'll call you.
Oh, no.
We'll talk about it.
Oh, no.
Call you. We'll talk about it.
You know what?
You know what?
For the most part, we've done a good job of skipping out on the effing and fighting stories because it just pisses everyone off. All of a sudden, Travis turns this into who'd you do?
Look, I'm like, no, I'm trying to avoid those stories.
No one should tell those stories because even if it's the coolest thing ever and you slept with Kathy Ireland in 1993,
don't know
no
who that
one
is.
wants to hear it.
I wasn't
No
born.
one wants to hear it, and everybody just saw a little peek into my brain.
Here's Tommy. Folks didn't get to see this today. This is seconds before we went live
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Tommy's talking about his family, and pulls up a picture of his brother on his phone. The Fonz, right?
Yeah,
The Fonz.
it's the Fonz.
Shows the picture to Chris.
Why, I
Holds it
didn't
right
ask
as-
for said picture.
Right as I'm about ready to hit the open, and goes, "This is a shirtless photo of my brother." And just stopped there and left it at that. It didn't say anything else, and I'm like, Tommy, you can't say that right before I'm about to start everything.
Why? I don't understand why I can't.
Because it made me laugh too hard.
Good. I'm glad I made you laugh.
Fair or foul?
I'll send you the pic of my brother shirtless, Travis.
Well, man. We asked you about a hologram tour with Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Got to watch out for that. A couple submissions here, and $25 to Anthonino's is on the line. Love that restaurant. Gardner, you're a huge fan.
Good salads.
Great salads. Yeah, you got the
The ravioli.
gluten-free options. They got those zucchini noodles. They
Great
got everything.
pasta.
That's right. Fair. If only I could see Whitney belt out "I Will Always Love You" one more time. Maybe Veronica from sophomore year Algebra 2 will come back to me.
Nice.
Darling, I love you. TT's, Pink Eye. You guys down with the original or Whitney Houston's version more?
I've never heard
Anything
either.
Whitney Houston did is the best version.
I don't know. Dolly Parton's haunting.
I think Dolly Parton is even on record saying that she goes with Whitney's
I
version.
mean, you can't beat that vocal range, obviously, but
Yeah.
man, there's something
I go
special
with-
about Dolly's version.
I
too.
go with Whitney's. Yeah, I mean they'll put their
Yeah,
own
it's kind of
mark
like
on it.
it's kind of like they both won a title, but you can't call the one the best ever.
I'll tell you what, that song right there. There used to be a bar in O'Fallon called the Corner Cooler.
Let's talk about it.
Corner Cooler had
boy.
matchbooks that had on it, "Come as a stranger, leave as a friend." It was a true dive bar in downtown O'Fallon. O'Fallon.
Any cigarettes in there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I once saw a man sing karaoke there who had a big gray beard down his chest and had the glasses that had the metal beads on them so you can put them around your
Oh,
neck.
yes.
He got up and sang that song in the most angelic way I've ever heard live, and I just sat there stunned, like almost in tears.
It'll throw you off.
Don't know that guy's name, But I remember him singing that song at the corner cooler in the fountain.
We'll never forget that story.
Did your heart go on after that?
It's a different.
Nice, Tommy.
Oh.
Nice, Tommy. Good job. Good reference. I like the reference. That's good.
What,
It wasn't a good reference,
Did
was it?
you just making heart jokes because you can? You think you can do that?
Oh, it's his
Yeah,
people.
I think I can.
You got carte blanche there?
There you
No,
go, Tommy.
no,
Yeah,
heart
there you go,
blanche.
Tommy.
Heart
Show us
blanche.
Heart
that.
blanche, yeah.
No.
Heart blanche.
Ooh.
I think I can make hard jokes.
Next up,
I can't.
Fair.
I can.
I've heard that Midcoast Media is developing a hologram to replace one of their hosts.
Yeah, he's not listening.
He's not. Whether it's because of his chronic lateness, insubordination, or just to overcome his inevitable untimely death,
Just the smidgel.
Robo Trav is coming! It's all the goofy Travis humor, but, you know, employable.
The Welch.
I've been threatening Robo Trav since like the first episode we ever
That went too
started
far.
this. That's from Carl Malone's Collarbone. Who we got? Gentlemen, Gardner, you vote first.
I'll go Carl Malone's collarbone.
Tommy.
Carl Malone's collarbone.
Trav, you going to take personal assault into it, or what are you going with?
TT's pink eye.
Carl Malone's collarbone has won $25 to Anthonino's Taverna on the hill. You can't get food like that in New York, can you punk, huh? Huh?
Hey.
Pretty good.
Hey, that's
Guys,
very disrespectful.
huge thanks to all of our sponsors. Again, one more time, shout it out to Matt Whitener and the folks like Eric Heckman over at Tani and their new project, You, Me, and E. Check out Orlando Pace, Doug Pitt, Don Sorensen on the podcast for the first time. Be sure to check out Impolite Company and all the other great podcasts like Static Podcast with Stacey Static that we record right here at the show. Travis, big day on tap for you. You're gonna write an Emmy-winning episode today.
I am actually in the fourth quarter of completing a spec script for Warner Brothers. So I have a deadline in 48 hours, and I am up against it. So Papa Bear is going to be waist deep in some scripts and some scenes and some editing and some. So I'm looking forward to. Here's the thing about being, of course, a successful professional screenwriter, Chris, that I can impart
Like
to
Kelly
some of those in the
here
audience.
tomorrow.
Sure. I'm sure that Tosh Point oh thing, I'm sure there's a lot of writing involved for that show. But
All right, buddy.
but the fact of the matter is that it's great that I don't have hair, because I think that this process has been some of the most stressful I've ever had to endure as a professional screenwriter. But it's part of the craft, man. When you're making magic, when you're creative, this is just part of the magic. Yeah. And so I'm feeling it now.
Yeah, a month in, I could tell. Hopefully, you'll have some good dialogue in there, like.
I want my pain, including the fro, copyrighted.
I didn't think about that line. That's a good line for.
And I will ride your back naked too if you like.
Now, what was that in reference to?
Stop Muslim immigration cold for now.
That is.
How would your writer friends think? How would your woke writers' room feel about that?
Well, I made the mistake the other day. I was with a few of the fellows, and they asked questions about what I did. And
oh boy!
I might have mentioned something about We Are Live. So we have some new listeners. Hey Malik. Hey Jebby. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Hi guys.
Is that why you're trying to be woke?
No, don't talk to them, please.
I
don't
also write.
Yeah. All right. No. That's,
Oh God, here we go.
Tommy is
We should end it
graced
now.
an advertising partner. He's
I did?
He's man, Dr. Ed. Did you see him storm out of here?
I did.
Yeah.
I
big
felt
time.
bad. I made him
Travis,
mad.
kick some ass today. We're always rooting for you. And
You go
something
get
or
it.
other.
Racist as hell. Oh,
That's deserved. Go watch the Blues at Southtown Pub tonight, and then come watch comedy tomorrow. And guys, it's been a fun show today. Huge thanks to all of our supporters. If you haven't yet, hit share, maybe subscribe on the iTunes. Share the show with somebody else so we can keep this train moving along. Thanks, everybody. We're back tomorrow live at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, live from Baseball Town, USA.
Peace. This is where
Forget
I
about it.
understand where President Trump is coming from.